guys, this is A. Renee from Journal Jot and Jive. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, welcome to the channel if you're a returning subscriber. Hey y'all. Alright. So today is Thursday. It is the 31st of October, which means tomorrow is November 1st. Alright, so that means we will be going into the second month of the fourth quarter, meaning 2 months are left in November. So what I wanted to do on today's video, I am going to do a journal page. I feel like this is going to be a talk through. I don't feel like it's going to be super long, maybe because I don't want it to be super long, but I do want to talk about what's coming up in November for Journal Jot and Jive, so that if you're interested, you can go ahead and sign up tomorrow. So yeah, this is going to be a video about that. All right, so what you see right here is a page that I did yesterday. I did not do that on this channel. I have a video in my Facebook group that was basically explaining what I'm about to explain now. And I did a sped up video on IG. So you may have seen this, you might be a little familiar with this, okay? So this is my Hello November page for this particular journal. Many of you know that I have several journals that I work out of. This is one of my uplifting journals or inspirational, something that I want to pop off the page. I don't typically put a not so good moment in this journal, so you won't really see that on here. All right, so I'm gonna flip over. And before I flip over, this says Hello November 2019 vibes. It is time to make moves right now. All right, so in the month of November, what's going to happen with Journal Jot and Jive is for Patreon. Patreon is a subscription service that I am a part of, and people basically pay a certain amount per month on whichever tier that they choose. And for that tier, they get something in return, okay? So you're supporting me so that I can do more things for Journal Jot and Jive. And in return, I am helping you expand your journal journey and things like that. So last month, for example, the topic was the road ahead. And so what happened with that topic was you were going to pick 1 to 2 things that you wanted to work on for the end of this year. So most people by October, November, it's like, oh my gosh, this year didn't go great. Nothing went my way, blah, blah, blah. And nobody really wants to kind of take ownership. Well, my stance is there's still time, right? So a lot of people will say, okay, well, nothing went right this year, so I'm just going to wait to 2020. But why? I don't know why we put a stamp on January 1st as if January 1st is the only time that you can make adjustments and improve. And that just doesn't work for me. I feel like it's a procrastination method. It's something that we've been taught subconsciously that, hey, wait to the new year to get a new fresh start. And often we shouldn't be starting over all the time. If you're continuously starting over, something's not working, and you kind of need to reevaluate and assess yourself and see, what am I doing to keep repeating the same things? So instead of doing that, I opted to get people moving. So with the road ahead, they got people started like, hey, what are going to be 1 to 2 things, okay? It doesn't have to be 2 things, but 1 to 2 things that I can work on for the next, now we're going to say 60 days or 61 days. What is it? Yeah, 61 days. What can I work on within my goal that I set and get some things done? So in November, we're going to actually put those plans into motion. You've written the goal down. You've looked up some of the information, possibly or not, and you just keep talking. And at some point in life, the talking kind of has to stop because it just sounds good. It sounds good and nothing is getting done. And then what ends up happening is you see other people succeeding in what they set out to do, and then jealousy sets in with some people. I'm not saying all, I'm just saying some. And then you see shots being taken in all different directions. I don't care what industry, field. If you're at work and you see somebody successfully making strides and you're not, then there tends to be a jealousy there. And instead of working on yourself, you're so focused on other people. So I'm like, listen, what can we do where people can get moving, write in their journal, And in this particular instance, learn how to use their planners where they're productive, okay? I'm all for the cutesy stuff. I have cute planners all day long, but if you're sitting and you're sticking stickers for an hour or two and your goals are not being worked on, then we kind of need to revisit some things. So if you are interested, you will actually go on the link that I have put in the description, which is the Patreon site. You will do one or two things. You will sign up for the $10 tier or you'll sign up for the $25 tier. In this case, for November, please hear me clearly because this will not apply when we go into December, but for November, everybody will get the total journal prompts for this month. The difference between the $10 tier and the $25 tier, the $25 tier will have a Zoom group meeting with me, and we will actually work on some things, talk about things in person via video, right? To make sure that you're doing what you need to do and to kind of just openly talk like, hey y'all, here's some things that I may be struggling with. Do you have any ideas? And then I can actually help you kind of work through your goals. Now you may say, girl, what makes you qualified? Well, you know, I'm really good at planning things out and setting goals and making sure that I accomplish them. Now, do I have pitfalls? Absolutely. But I'm very detailed. Anybody that you ask will be like, this girl will write everything left and right. If I have something that I want to do, I'm going to do it. Doesn't mean that it's always going to succeed, not necessarily, but I do know what it takes to plan out things, use a calendar, use a journal, and fuse the two and make sure some things are going to occur. So let's say, let me give you an example of a goal that you may want to do, and I'm not going to give you everything because guess what? You got to pay for it. Let's say you want to lose weight. The average person is going to say, I want to lose 50 pounds. Now, that is your overall goal, but there is no way in a healthy manner to lose 50 pounds in 2 months. If you're losing 50 pounds in 2 months, you need to go get checked out, okay? However, the goal can still start. So what ends up happening is most people will set this astronomical goal, and because it's not happening how they want it to happen right now, they then stand still. And then time flies by and it's like nothing is working. And it's not that nothing is working. It's just that you allowed yourself to look at the grand picture and you didn't break it down into slides, okay? So let's pretend it's a PowerPoint presentation. You just let it play without doing anything, and you felt like you should be at the end in 2 months, and that's not the case. So if you were losing weight or planning to lose weight, you have to do actionable items to start the process. So in the month of November, that is what we will be doing. You will take your 1 or 2 goals and you will then start creating tasks. We will take the planner. I will teach you how to actually put in your planner week 1. You're going to actually do the work. I'm going to give you the assignment and you're going to do the work. Week 1, this is what I need to be doing. Week 2, this is what I need to be doing. Each week, something should have occurred where you're making a step closer to what you said you wanted to do. And at that point, when you get to December, we don't have to keep reading the same post that we read each year like, whoa me. No, you're going to have some kind of success of accomplishing something that you set out to do, all right? So that is that. I am really super excited. If you have been a part of my Patreon, you know I don't give any foo-foo journal prompts. One of the things that I do realize about my method, it is hard because it's like this lady wants me to pay for something and I can't see it. However, if you've watched my videos and you've seen me work, then you know like I'm the real deal. And sometimes you just have to trust the process, okay? So again, that's on Patreon. That will be www.patreon.com/journal-jot-and-jive. And I'm going to put that in the description. So what you will do is once you sign up tomorrow, the journal prompts will actually be released on the 2nd. I have to make sure all payments are confirmed and captured, and then I will release the journal prompts. You will have access into a Facebook group, not the official Journal Jot and Jive group, but it'll be a different group where you have access. Within that group is where people can kind of talk, post how they're tracking things. If you're using a particular planner, you'll be able to kind of see how it's working for some people. And then you'll be able to, like, you know, just post and engage. A lot of times people need accountability and they're scared to ask for the accountability. And this would be the group where you don't have to be nervous about asking, okay? So again, I am super excited about that. And I encourage you, if you have been struggling with your goals or you need a little extra push, to go ahead and sign up this month. And what it is you're basically trying out Patreon for a month. If it's what you like, you'll keep going with it. The payments will draft each month. If it's something that you're like, okay, well, this worked, I'm good, then you stop your payment. Hopefully that's not the case. But if it is, hey, by all means, you do that. So pause for the cause, because I need to make sure I'm spelling this right. November, because y'all know I am good for writing something and then like, oh my God, it was spelled wrong. Okay. And so all I'm doing right now is setting up this page. I know what my 2 goals are. I don't have a problem telling you what my goals are. My first goal for the last part of this month is to position myself to spruce up my room. I want to change a lot of things out. I want it to feel a little bit lush, and I want it to feel like an oasis that I go into. Right now it's like, girl, you home, you laying down, the end. And so I want it to feel a little bit better than what it feels. My second goal is to get my cholesterol numbers down. And what I need to do by that is I gotta exercise and cut back on some of the carbs. So every year around my birthday time, I go and get my annual physical. I get all my blood work done so I can see, hey, am I pre-diabetic or all of those things. So last year I was pre-diabetic. I'm excited to say that I'm not this year. So I did get something right, but the cholesterol is still like, baby girl, what you gonna do? So that is my second goal. And so basically what she said, she was like, yeah, you know, a little more exercise and diet. And I kind of chuckled because I pretty much knew that was what I needed. So those are going to be my 2 goals that I work on. Now, I gave you the 2 goals, but they have to have tasks and actionable items for that to happen, okay? I can't say I'm gonna spruce up my room and I don't do anything. So that is what I'll be working on. So your goal does not have to be super big. I think a lot of people feel like in order for it to be a goal, it just has to be like large to be a successful goal. You may want to clean your car and get car maintenance. That may be your goal for the last few months. That's fine. You don't have to start a business to set a goal. And I think that's one thing that gets lost in translation is in order for something to be successful, it has to be so grand of a goal. That is not true, y'all. So please kind of lose that narrative, because a lot of y'all will be out here trying to do something that you don't even want to do. You do not have to be a business owner to be successful. That narrative has been painted so much. If you work a 9 to 5 and you want to climb up within that company, or you want to do something different, that is fine. Do not minimize where you are with your walk in life. That to me is so annoying. I have done both. I have worked a 9 to 5 and I have been self-employed. And I'm gonna just be real honest. Self-employed, is it rewarding? But it is hard, okay? It is hard, and it's not all peaches and cream, okay? Everybody's not gonna show you all sides, and they're not obligated to. But I have never had a problem just being real straightforward with y'all. It ain't no joke, okay? So again, whatever your goal is, don't minimize it because you feel like it's not good enough. Set a realistic goal for these last 2 months. Something that you can dedicate time to, something that you're willing to really work on, and something that you're committed to. Don't go along to get along. If you know you're not going to do the work, don't waste your time. You know, I'm all about encouragement, but I'm all about realism too. Don't go along to get along. That's the worst thing that you can do, because it puts you in a funk because you knew you weren't ready. And, you know, but again, if you need that extra push, that's fine. But again, don't just do something because it sounds good. Make sure it's something that you really want to do. It's something that you really want to invest in. You are worth it, but you have to believe that you're worth it, okay? So again, I'm just setting up a little bit right now. I'll go in and write each goal. I'm not ready to write each goal just yet because I haven't decided how I want to structure it out on here, but I did want to be doing something while I was talking to you. I didn't want to just talk to the camera and not have any kind of movement or any inspiration. So if you are going to do the challenge, here's a couple of things I would go ahead and suggest. Go ahead and figure out what planner you're going to use. It can be digital, it can be paper, but what planner are you going to use, and will you actually look at consistently? And again, there will be some other things that will be mentioned directly once you're a part of the group, but you will need a journal and a planner. If you already have a journal, that's fine. Now go out and buy a new journal for this one type of activity. Now, unless you decide that you want a goals journal separately, okay, that's fine. But if you're not consistent in writing in a journal, I wouldn't advise that you just go buy a whole new journal, okay? That's just, I'm not gonna suggest that. So what you'll need is a journal, and you will need a planner. I do have a few planners that I'll be able to show you examples, because I've already polled some of my current Patreons right now, like, hey, what kind of planner do you use? And a few of the planners they use, I have something that I can kind of show an example of how you can track and be successful when you're setting up your tasks and the things that you need to do with your goals. Okay? So y'all, I think that's that. Before I get out, I want to pull this last color in just a little bit more. And so about this blackout journal, off on a tangent, it does smudge a little bit with the white if you don't let stuff dry fast enough. So yeah, that just definitely just happened right there. So I do know that I'm going to put my goals in a bubble. That just came to me right now that I wanted them in a bubble. And so in my bubble, it will have just the base of the goal. I'm going to not write it on here right now, but it'll say what each goal is. And then I'll kind of write some different things on the other side of what I want to do. I'll pretty much brain dump on this other side. And then as we start our prompts and our activities in November, you'll be able to see how I develop the way that I'm going to accomplish my goal and get started on my goal. I've already started, y'all, with the one as far as sprucing up my room. Because one day I was just minding everybody else's business on YouTube, okay? Just minding everybody's business. You know how you be like, I'm just minding my own business. When you watching my channel, you minding my business. And when I'm watching other people, I'm minding theirs. So I was minding everybody else's business. And I had YouTube playing through my TV. And so I was really listening. I wasn't necessarily watching. And I looked up, y'all, and my screen was black. Now, listen, I done had this TV, I know for a good, we're gonna go between 11 and 13 years. But I felt like you should still be working. So my little feelings was hurt. So I already got one step of sprucing the room up with taking the TV out of the room. So yeah, that was done. So I was my little feelings was just a little bit hurt. Cause I was like, what you mean? And I also felt like that was a way to get some space cleared out and I can kind of decide what I want. So I'm excited about sprucing up the room. I've been in stores looking at different things. I believe I have the color scheme in my mind. I believe that I have that. So that's going to be a little bit exciting. So again, we have this set up over here. This is where the goal is going to be listed. They really should have said goals with the S, but whatever. That's going to be over there. And then we're going to have a brain dump section over here to the right. So we're just going to do a brain. I never get this R right, y'all. That R be looking a hot mess. But whatever. And so then we're going to do a brain dump. And when I do my brain dump, it's just going to be for these two goals. And it's not going to be organized. That's where I think a lot of people get brain dumps mixed up. Brain dumps, you're just dumping out what you think you want to do. And you just list. You're just listing. However it comes out is fine. It does not have to be perfection with the brain dump. You're just whatever. So if I'm saying I'm sprucing up my room, what do I need to do? I need to get rid of some things. I need to figure out the color scheme. So I'm kind of giving you a mental brain dump verbally. I need to dust, get rid of products, anything that I need to do, clear out my room first before I decide to bring anything in, because it does not make sense to bring new stuff in when you still have old. So cleaning out the old with the new. So again, I am super excited, y'all, about November. I think it will be a great opportunity for you to get moving, you to get out of your own way, you to kind of fellowship with other people to figure out like, hey, how do you make some things work? So this is going to be the start of my November goals. Okay, so we have 2 goals that I'm going to work on to get started for the last 2 months. Doesn't mean that you're going to complete your goal by January, not necessarily, but what it does mean is by the time January comes, you're continuing and you're not starting over. Okay, January 1st is not a start date. Every day that you have breath in your body gives you a day to work on something and to improve upon yourself. All right, so you have an amazing day. Again, the link will be in the description, and that's gonna be that. Y'all actually got a talk through video for 20 some minutes. All right, see y'all later.